What is up, gamers? It's your boy the Goods. We are here for a brand new thing I want to do. I got this suggestion from a pal at work to make videos about anime, and I've been wanting to do anime content for a while, but I had no idea what to do. And I'm going to be honest with you, I still have no idea what to make the content about, but I think I'm just going to get right into it. But before I do that, I want to plug my anime list account. The reason that I'm about to do what I'm about to do is because I've plugged the account before at least once. My name is Dabgod, Dabgod. My profile looks like this, so you know how to find me. Because apparently I'm like the last search result. When you search me, I'm like the last one. So this is what it looks like. Go ahead and follow me. I've seen like a bunch of shows. I think I'm really close to like 300 entries. And I'm in like 70 something watch minutes. So check that out. But let me get into the actual video. Alright, I really hope that this isn't like completely unreadable. Let me give a bit of background. This is all of the anime that I've ripped the list from a document that I've been keeping since literally the beginning of the year, since January 1st. This is all the anime I've watched in the year 2023 so far. Okay, I'm recording this on Saturday, August 12th. So you're probably going to see this on Wednesday. I think I'm going to release weekly updates. But here's to catch you up to speed. This is everything. Okay, starting with Tokyo Ghoul. I'm going to read it just in case you can't. Right, this is going to be a bit of a longer intro. Tokyo Ghoul. I watched Momote Lollipop. All of Mob Psycho, Tower of God. I watched the first two seasons of Psycho Pass. I think I started to watch what I thought was the third season, but it was the movie, because the third season's like Amazon Prime only. I watched Odd Taxi, Chainsaw Man, Shinsekai Yori. I think I've talked shit about that one a lot. Kanata no Astra. That was all in January, so that's about 12 shows. Well, I have it right there. I have the bolded numbers are how many I watched that month, just because it's fun to keep up with. And then February, surprisingly enough, was the second highest amount of shows I watched in 1 month. This entire time I had started a new job, and at first it wasn't that bad, right? Like at first it wasn't too bad. I was watching a lot of anime, some of it at work, because we really didn't do anything like at all. And whenever there was stuff to do, it wasn't like my job to do a lot of these things, so I just didn't do them. I'd watch anime instead. Very fun, very cool. But I think around February is when I started to really start to dislike it. So I watched a lot more anime. But then at the end of March, I had an anime convention. So I still watched a pretty decent amount. What did I get up to in March? Did I block it out? I did. I did block it out. Hold on. Let me make it smaller just so I can look at it real quick. It was 11. Okay, yeah. So I watched about 11 shows in March, which is not that bad. But what did we do in April? We watched 9. Can I click off of this? Because when I'm in OBS, whenever I click on it, it has a red bar around it, and it fucks with everything else. I don't think you can see it, but I can. In April I watched 9. That was when I was doing a fitness challenge at work, and I was just really not paying attention at all. So what I'm getting at here, what did I do? Let me go back to where I was. I was talking about Shinsekai Yori, Kanata no Astra. Like I said, February, things started to not be as fun. And because of that, if you skip down, let me just read them. Hyoka, Konosuba, Mao Yusha, Food Wars. After Food Wars, which was really good, I was kind of, what was it? When exactly did I start doing the thing? I think this entire thing, starting with Tokyo Ghoul, I was going back, and I called 2023 the year of the clear, because I was clearing out my plan to watch systemically, going from the oldest upwards. So when I got to the end of Food Wars, I was really looking at things and I thought I should make lists. Like I should make like separate lists on top of my plan to watch. And I called that document, I put like 37 different shows in there. I called it the Year of the Clear. And it was just me clearing out as much as I could. And I in my head, I figured it would take me till like about June, just the rate I was going in February when I made it. But, you know, the idea was that anything could happen, and I just wanted to do that by the end of the year. I wanted to clear out all the old garbage that had been sitting in there for years. Like, Tokyo Ghoul was literally suggested to me in, like, 2016, and I don't know why I could see exactly how long it was, but I thought it was way longer than it was, so I held off on it. Yeah, all these other shows I put in my list forever ago. They've either been suggested or I found them. So I made lists, and I had little, like, stopping points, right? So, like, Evangelion was the first stopping point. It was, like, you know, everything from Yuki Yuna, Panty Stocking, Talentless Nana, Kaze no Stigma, King's Game, and then it was all building up to Evangelion. I'd watch that. I wouldn't say stopping point, more like a peak. You know what I mean? Like they give them all cute names to make it more fun. So this one was like the Road to Evangelion. And then what is this next one here? Starts with Laid Back Camp. And then Attack on Titan Final Season Part 3, Part 1. That came out, so I watched that. What else? And then My Hero Academia. That's the one that I couldn't wait for. As you'll see, there's like a, you know, in July, there's like a bunch of the new shit that came out. All at once. It's because I really did kind of wait for all of that, and I did this first. What was the peak of that one? What was the peak of that? It was probably Little Witch Academia. Yeah. So there was a lot, because there was all of Room Camp, there was all of Love Live Sunshine. I think I called it like Dark Emoto, which is the Japanese word for little sister, because there's a lot of what is it, like Love Live Sunshine's like the like freshman high school girls, and like Laid Back Camp, I think they're also like younger high school girls. But then you have Rainbow Nisha, which is like a prison, like really fucked up, like post World War II prison anime. And then like Dear Brother was like it was high school girls, but it was like drama, like they were really like fucked up. And then this one was Bishonen. Demon Lord Retry, that was, you know, Demon Lord whatever. Little Witch Academia. That was kind of like the vibe I was going for. It was like a mix of like, I don't want to say shoujo, but like shows about shoujos. So then this next one was starting with Spy Family, going to Yuri on Ice, Berserk, Vinland Saga, Code Geass, and then ending with Full Metal Alchemist. Just huge powerhouses that are super popular. I think I called that one like a Rolling Stone collects no moss, because like, what is it? Like, I know Rolling Stone is a popular, isn't it like a magazine or some shit? And then there's like the Rolling Stones for like a rock band, so that's like a popular thing. And then like No Moss, you know, like they're not slowing down to like get shit on them. You know, they're all really corny, cringe titles. And then the next one, I think I called it like the Dimension of Entropy, because it was just random shit. It's like Servant Service, Soul Eater, Asterix War, which Asterix War was way better than I thought it'd be, by the way. God of High School, Irregular Magic High School. I really should have, if not for Tiger and Bunny was the peak, I believe. Or no, Bobobo was the peak. But if not for Tiger and Bunny, Bobobo, and Servant Service, it definitely would have been some reference to like school, because there's like 3 school anime, or there's 4: Soul Eater, Asterix War, God of High School, and Irregular at Magic High School. So yeah, Bobobo was the peak. And then where was it? Because this was June. The last June show was Tiger and Bunny. So then we had Bobobo, which I watched most of it in June. My rule was that it only counted for the month that it ends in. You know, so like Hyoka, I watched literally like a vast majority of that in January. But I think the last 3 episodes I watched in February, so like, you know, it counts. That's a February show. Because I go based on the end date. Like if I started a show and I watched most of it in 2023, which I think is what happened with Tokyo Ghoul Re S2. I think I really wanted to include it, but it would have skewed the list, and I'd already released the list. So we'll see what I do with Tokyo Ghoul. Um, but what else? Dekaiichi, Way of the House Husband. This was all in July, and then I'm not even fucking kidding. That watch list that I made when I was just miserable at work and I was just trying to like make the day go by faster. The Sunday before I started my new job, my current job that I love so much, I finished the last one, which is Anohana. All of like this stuff, Dekaiichi to Anohana, which is, what is it? Way of the House Husband, Black Butler, Death Parade. I think I called it like Light at the End of the Tunnel because Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe was not in there. I will tell you that was not in there. It's like 4 episodes and I remembered it existed, and I got Netflix to watch The Way of the House Husband. So I think I was watching Death Parade I was watching Hellsing, and I was so fucking bored that I like turned on the Spoke Rohan Kishibe because I like saw it recommended to me on Netflix. I was like, well, let me go watch it. But Hellsing, it wasn't bad. It just like wasn't my thing. If you'll notice, like Death Parade, I was infinitely more bored with, and I thought was really bad, which is probably a hot take because everyone that talks about it speaks really highly of it. I just thought it was stupid and shallow and not what was advertised. And I know that's like a thing that as I make more anime content, if I do, you'll see me bring up that I have a handful of like, not like rules, but like statements I'll make, and one of them is that you can never trust a like description of an anime. Like they will describe it in the worst way possible. The very first example I had of this was High School DxD. I don't know what the description is now because I don't like keep up with the series now that I'm like an adult. But when I was like 15, I watched it for the first time. I read the description and it was just not what the show was like at all. Like the plot is so different than the description. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to trust descriptions anymore. And every now and then I'll like read a description and I'm like, oh, that sounds bad or that sounds cool. And then I'll watch the show and it's the opposite. So that was Death Parade, was like the way they described it. It was just like Squid Games or some shit, or like I don't know how to describe it. Like those it's like foreign films you see on TikTok that like you'll watch like in parts of like 20 different parts, and it's like, oh, these people are. It's like Saw, but different. Like less like scary, gruesome like basement murder, but more like some super rich guy is like setting up these really fantastical traps to kill people. I don't know, it was dumb, it was stupid. But no, literally that Sunday I finished Anohana, which is the last one on the list, which was really cool. I'm really glad that it worked out exactly like that. So then the next watch list, I made a really short one, which was just catching up with the seasonals that came out and like the new releases. So like Dr. Stone, Demon Slayer, Vinland Saga, Konosuba, which I'll admit, as you can see, I gave it a 3. What did I give it in the other ones? I gave it like a 4 and a 5. I'm not a big fan of Konosuba in general, but I'll finish a series, right? In general, my rule is this is like our actual rule for me, is that if there's something that I think is bad, I have to watch it to shit on it, unless the reason I think it's bad is like, I don't know, like just something that like you shouldn't have to subject yourself to. You know what I mean? Like for example, like Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Senpai. The reason I think it's bad is it's kind of like an incel power fantasy, where this random dude who's oh so cool because he doesn't use social media and he's what is it, he's like, he himself is a metaphor for like the harms of cyberbullying or some shit, and then he magically starts dating like this super hot actress girl that can only see him, and they love each other for no reason. Like they couldn't, like they don't ever talk about each other's like traits of like what they like or like things that like they've done. They just have this like magic bond. Like most people that are like dating or in love, they could be like, oh, I like their hair, I like their nose, I like the way they laugh, I like that they're kind-hearted, or they're smart, they're strong, whatever, right? They can describe them. In this, there's never like a, oh man, she's so beautiful, she's so nice, she's so kind. There's no like traits. It's just, oh cool, supermodel babe, I like her. And then she's like, oh wow, this guy, he is not obsessed with me, so I'm just gonna attach myself. And anybody that's a fan of the series will just argue with me, but they never have anything. There's like, dude, it's just love, man. It's just like how it works. I'm like, no. And there's nothing wrong with an incel power fantasy if that's what you want to write, but it's not what I want to watch. So I watched the series so I could accurately, like, there's another I'm getting way the fuck off topic, but I hate this show so much. There's like another scene where this like much bigger, scarier dude is like getting up in his face, and then like he magically like gets him on the floor and like wipes his shoe on him, and he's like, I had dog poo in my shoe yesterday. And then instead of like beating the shit out of him, the guy just like screams or some shit or like runs away. Like, I don't remember the exact specifics. I watched the show like 2 years ago, but I'm not wrong in what happened, that this obviously bigger, scarier dude just kind of like immediately broke down for no reason at all. And then there's like the fake harem aspect where like there's other girls that are interested in him, and then he'll like go on dates with them, but it's not date because he likes the other girl. He's just spending time with them for science, because there's like a fake science fiction aspect to this show. And then there's the little sister that has a fucking complex with him. It's not a good show at all. It's so badly written. And if that's what you like, whatever, just stay away from me. Stay away. So I watch shows I don't like, as you can see. I don't always drop it. My drop rules are pretty standard. Just no like crime. No things that like I don't know how to describe it without being graphic. Just don't do anything just abhorrent. You know what I mean? You can take a wild guess the like 2 things that I'm talking about that you shouldn't do. They're sex crimes. Don't do either of them in your anime. The third rule that I have is just don't be like comically boring. You know what I mean? Like Death Parade was like short and not that bad. But I don't know. Like, anything more than like 12 episodes, if it's boring, I can't do it. I think one of the ones I dropped was like Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, because I could not bring myself to care. I was like 3 episodes in. I couldn't tell you anybody's name, anything that happened at all. I was just staring at the screen. So here's where things get fun. Okay, Oshinoko is where that ketchup, I called it the ketchup arc, like ketchup like the condiment, okay, as a joke. That was where that ended, right? All the new stuff and all the old stuff, and then Kimono Jihen was also in there for some reason. I think I was like downstairs and I didn't have whatever platform I was watching, because what was I watching? Konosuba, that's Crunchyroll only. I didn't have Crunchyroll on the downstairs TV, and my phone was not with me, I guess. So I put that on, and I just finished it because it's like 12 or 13 episodes. So after Oshinoko, which was the peak of the second part, because I split into 2 lists, the old and the new, I started a new watch list. Okay, let me explain that one, and then I will pull up some things about it. Basically, it's called The Great Crusade. The fuck else did I say about it? The Great Crusade 200th Warrior. Jesus. The Great Crusade 200th Warrior. I want that number in the corner, in the very bottom right. I don't know if you can see it. Total unique anime watched ever. Not just for the year, obviously. There's no way it's 152 for this year, but 152 ever. Right, it's how many series that I've watched. Okay, I want that number to be at 200. So as you can see, after Oshinoko, I finished Yuki Yuna. I just wanted to get that out of the way. And then Yankee Hamster was the next one. Right, so those are, we were at 151, now we're at 152. Let me pull up the names of the little like lists. I split them up into little mini lists, and then you can see kind of what I'm going for. I'll go over it. So as you can see, I started on August 2nd. Okay, that was when it started. So like the Oshinoko, I finished August 1st. or maybe I finished it on August 2nd, and then I started Yuki Yuna. I don't know exactly what I did. Point is that August 2nd is when we started, and there are battles, because it's a crusade, right? So there's different battles. I'm having a lot of fun with this, right? First one is High Dive Hill. I took all of the shows that I was going to put on the other watch list, right? I was going to put them on that one, but I didn't have High Dive. Okay, I got my good friend John. John let me use his High Dive, and I'm just using that forever until he either gets rid of it or tells me to not do it anymore. So we're going to get through all the High Dive stuff, right? There's no set thing that's gonna happen here. There's no like theme. It's just these are the shows I was gonna watch last time. I gotta clear them out. So we'll get those done, right? I'll show what those are after. Okay, I'm gonna show these one at a time. As I finish them, I'll show them off. I don't want to overload you with information because I've already unloaded for 20 minutes. Battle number 2, Monster Mansion. It either had monster or a monster in the title, or it's about monsters. It's monsters. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I tried to alliterate where I could. I've been alliterating a lot. I think I don't know. Romantic Retreat, as simple as it sounds, romance anime. Battle 4, Schoolhouse Rock, takes place in a school, or it's about school or whatever. Battle 5, Silly Showdown. These are all the comedies. I think obviously there's going to be cross listings. Like there's going to be romance that happens in school. There's going to be schools that happen with monsters. I tried to, when going down the list of my plan to watch, and this clears most of my plan to watch, by the way. I'm projecting by the end of it, based on me adding shows, because this is going to take me a while. This has like 49 unique shows, as opposed to the other one had 37. And it took me like about, 6 months to clear it. So it's going to be a while, is the point. It's going to be a long time. But Silly Showdown was all the comedies, and then the final battle is just whatever was left over. I think I only had maybe like 14, 20 entries in my my anime list after I put everything in here. Because I think I took all the different unique series, put them in a list, and then I organized them based on trends I saw, and then anything that was left over just went into the final battle. So I'm gonna hit 200. It's definitely not happening this year. I know in the other anime video I've uploaded, there was a little bit of explanation as to the end of year top 10 list / anime rewind. And that was the reason that I was a little hesitant to make anime content, was the more I talk about it, the less exciting and the less new it is. But I realized that if I've already revealed my anime list, you're going to see all of this information, just the titles and the ratings. And I'm pretty sure you can see my start and finish date too, or at least guess. I just don't think anybody cares that much. So it'll still be a shock and a surprise. And there's so many 10s that and there's so many bad ones, I feel like too, that all the different categories, it's not that big of a deal. So let's get into High Dive Hill. Let's take a look at that. Alright, so as you can see, start date August 2nd, we already covered that. Battle 1, High Dive Hill. I watched Yuki Yuna as a hero. I watched Yankee Hamster. There is a third season. It exists. That's why there's a hyperlink. The problem is that it's not English dubbed or subbed or anything. It is purely Japanese. So I'm going to have to wait. I know it's on Amazon Prime, but I don't think it's in my region. So it's not an option right now, is the point. It's such a niche series. I think the only reason it's there is because when I used to play the Karuta cards in Discord, it came up a handful of times, and I saw that it had 200 episodes. I didn't realize it was a webtoon, so I freaked out, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to watch this crazy series for the meme. But they're only 2 minutes or something an episode. But the entire remaining, right? Again, no theme, no anything. It's just shows that are on High Dive. Starting with Bang Dream, I am 6 episodes into, or maybe, yeah, I've watched 6 episodes. I'm on episode 7 of the first season. I'm only watching the 3 seasons of Bang Dream, and then Argo Navis, I think it's called. So I'm watching those. I know Mygo's airing right now. What I'll do is whenever that finishes airing, I'll watch that. If I want to. Technically, the gag with watching the series is that I've started it. Like, I guarantee you, if you go through my stuff, there's something out there that I've watched that has a season 2 that I haven't found or gotten into yet. I mean, case in point, like Psycho-Pass, I didn't watch season 3. It's not about like watching the entire thing. It's just having watched a season, right? Like having watched part of that thing and being involved in that. Like I know Jujutsu Kaisen, I watched that last year. It's got a season 2 that's coming out right now. I'm probably not going to watch it until it's completely released, but I'm still like a Jujutsu Kaisen fan. You know what I mean? Like I know the characters, whatever. I just want 200 unique entries is what I'm going for. So I know nothing about these other shows at all. I know K-on's like another music one. I know Bloom Into You is really popular. I think my teen romantic comedy Snafu, I don't know if I linked to a pirating or what the hell I did. I don't know what that hyperlink is. I'm not going to click it until it's time, because I know it's on High Dive, obviously, but it might be some dummy shit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to update every Wednesday. Right, every Wednesday. This is uploading on Wednesday, and the next Wednesday I'm going to update where I'm at with the anime. And it'll be more specific. I'll talk about the show itself. And that way, when I do the rewinds, it'll be like way more interesting, because you'll take all of these shows that I've been talking about, and then you'll see like compared to each other, you know what I mean, for this entire year, which ones were the top 10s, which one were the worst. I think I'm doing like bottom 3 or 4, maybe 2. It entirely depends. Which ones had the best songs. You know what I mean? Like, you'll see me talk about like a handful at a time, and I'm like, oh man, this music was pretty good, this music was pretty bad. Then you'll see like which one was the best. And you got a bit more emotional attachment than me just throwing a bunch of information at you. So, this weekend, right now, I'm going to watch more Bang Dream. I'm going to try and watch as much as I can, but I'm very busy. But you're not going to see anything, because today's the 12th is when I'm making it. I'll try and make these on Sundays, right? And then it'll just be like from Sunday to Sunday. You know what I mean? So I'll try and start dating them is what I'll do. Or I'll say like when I started watching, as opposed to the last thing. I'll say, okay, like the last time I made a video was this day, so here's what's happened since then up to this date, because I know a lot of my content I'll record in advance, so it's a little weird. But let me see, because if it's at the end of the year, I'm going to release it on January 1st. Which is a Monday. That's perfect. So I can literally create and record and do everything that Sunday the 31st, and put together the whole video of the whole yearly rewind, and then I will release it on the 1st, and then you'll see the update for the Great Crusade 200th Warrior. That's gonna release on January 3rd for that week, because I'm telling you right now, I understand that like I can watch it really fast, but like to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 4.5 5 months is nowhere near enough to watch all this stuff. I don't care if some of it's longer, some of it's shorter, whatever. It's 50 shows compared to like 32. It's not fucking happening. So this has been about half an hour. That is like a full television show worth of content, maybe more, because they usually have commercials. So thank you for watching. I'll try and keep them a bit shorter for the rest of them, just so they're digestible. But I just had so much to go over in this first one to catch up, considering, we're talking about like the entire year so far, 7 full months, and then like almost half of another worth of content. So that's what I'll do. I'll make weekly updates, and I'll be very very punctual about how much time has passed. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next episode of whatever the hell I call this. Bye bye.